All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming all the way from Russell, Kansas, Mr. Sheldon Schween.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of H, Kansas. How are we tonight? Hey, that's some enthusiasm I like to hear. Let's give it a hand for our gracious host, Mr. Jeff. Which, as you heard, my name is Sheldon. And, well, you know, I quite frankly hate the Big Bang Theory with a passion. And it's not that it isn't brilliantly written or all that funny, it's just the fact that when someone says the word Sheldon, I'm like, what, huh? So when I watch the Big Bang Theory and they're like, Sheldon, 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 I'm like, what do you want? And, you know, it, quite frankly, my name, it even kind of ruined my favorite place to eat on the fast side, Arby's. They started this concept where instead of calling out a number for your order, they call out your name. Well, you know, every time, if you pay with a card, they catch it off your card. If you pay with cash, they ask you what your name is. And I get so sick and tired of telling them my name is Sheldon. Because as soon as the clerk goes, order for Sheldon, everybody looks around like, oh my God, there's someone named Sheldon here? Who could it be? Well, I'm pretty sure it's not that Mexican over there. That can't be a Sheldon. And I don't think it's that guy over there. Then next thing you know, I walk forward and they're like, it's the tall guy, skinny with glasses. Well, of course that's the Sheldon. What else would it be? And, you know, I've tried ways around it, but I wind up making myself feel rather stupid because, you know, it's not a bad thing to get mad at somebody for not doing their job properly. Now, it's an asshole thing to get mad at somebody who is doing their job properly, but it's just on your own stupidity. Because there's been times I've been waiting for my food at Arby's, and they'll go, order for Doug. And I'll be sitting there like, who's this Doug? God damn, I've been here before him. Where's my food? It should be here. Order for Doug. My food going to get here? It's taking forever. And then all of a sudden I remember when they asked me my name, I told them it was Doug. So yeah, that always came back on me. And I've never had the guts to try this, and I always wanted to, that when they ask me what my name is, I just want to look at them and say, my name is Christ, Jesus Christ. So that way when the worker takes down my name, goes, hey, boss, it's time for me to take a break. Okay. And the next thing you know, the manager's running over and goes like, all right, let's see here. We need one medium beef curtain vagina sandwich with a medium fry. And okay, this is... Is Jesus Christ here? Jesus Christ, your food is ready. It's Jesus Christ. God damn it, give me my food. But, yeah, and as Jeff also mentioned, I'm from Russell. And not only am I from Russell, I'm a country kid. And, you know, Ellis and Russell County, we have a lot of similarities. There's a large farming community and also paired with a lot of oil field production. And you might call me a liar, but this is almost absolutely true. Back when I was a kid, riding the bus, our bus driver, his family, owned a ton of land with a ton of oil. So odds are, if your parents didn't farm some land that his family owned, they either wanted to farm some land his family owned, or your parent worked for their oil company. So needless to say that, you know, back in the day, if you mouthed off to the teacher and they called your parents, you got a butt spanking. by God, if Harlan called your parents from the bus, you got an ass whipping, because it was like, what'd you do to piss off Harlan? Nothing, Mom. Like, yeah. And the funny thing about this is, come to realize later in my life, Harlan is what we call or refer to as a functional alcoholic. And a big reason why Harlan would get you in trouble, because, I mean, hell, it'd be the first day of school, and you'd come home, and parents would be like, boy, I just bought you those shoes, you got them all muddy. Well, the thing is, in celebration of the first day, Harlan, we couldn't figure out if he never quit from last night or if he just started early this morning, because when he came to pick us up at 7:30, he was already in fine form. And after a full day of school, when he came to pick us up and take us back, he was, in even better form. And we didn't get about 2 miles outside of town, and he kind of drifted into the ditch, ramped off the culvert, landed in a pasture, took out about a quarter-mile fence before he got high-centered. Well, that still doesn't explain your shoes being dirty, boy. Well, after he got high-centered, he demanded that everybody K through 12 get out and push. And after he got unhigh-centered, he kept going and didn't stop to let us back on, so I'm actually one of the few that made it back on, Mom. Was Harlan pissed? No, but I'm glad you think I'm okay. But, yeah. It's one of those fun old things, you know. Here recently, at the beginning of April, I would have been at my job for 8 years. And what happened was, I used to work in the oil field for my grandpa. And one day I got the guile to tell him, hey, sell me your cows and rent me your land or I quit. Fair enough, he told me to go fly a kite. And you don't have to know very much about the oil field to know fly a kite was not the words he chose to tell me. So I put my 2 weeks in, and I was like, I'm going to go start my own farm. Just going to start my own farm. And I kid you not, the very Friday, the last day of my 2 weeks, was the day they announced the banking crisis. And I'm like, son of a bitch, now's not the time to go borrow a bunch of money to start a farm that doesn't make any money, and there's no way in hell I can back out of this, or I'm going to eat plates of crow for the rest of my life. So I went ahead with it, and there was about 3 months of unemployment. God bless my now ex-wife, how she let my loser ass even climb on her for a little sexual pleasure is beyond me. I guess. Felt sorry for me or something. But I see an ad in the paper, and this ad says route driver wanted, hazmat needed. And for those of you who might not know, hazmat is a hazardous materials license. And I had a hazardous materials license for hauling propane to all the leases and stuff. So I show up to this interview, and they go, we're Auto Lab, commercial dishwashing and laundry chemicals. And I go, you're what? We're Auto Lab, commercial dishwashing and laundry chemicals. Have you never worked in a restaurant before? And I go, no, I have not. It's been farm and oil field my whole life. And, 8 years later, I guess I kind of liked it. Which, it was 8 years at the beginning of April, and it was 8 years and 3 weeks at the end of April when they fired my ass. And, it was just one of those things. I can't help but thank him for some of the loveliest times of my life, because, coming out of the oil patch and walking into an Asian restaurant, it blew my mind. Here this little farm oil patch boy was like, oh, you have to fix a dishwashing machine? Yeah? Oh, I pay you now? Yes, please. Okay. And then, the dishwashers were in all the restaurants, and then you had the laundry chemicals. And, of course, we all know who runs the motels around here. Hello, and thank you for coming to my motel. Are you bringing me laundry chemicals? Yeah. Okay, would you like to come and pray with me to my God? I'm kind of a Christian, sir. Okay, well, I was going to go to pray to Shiva, the woman of 9 boobs and 7 swords. 9 boobs, you say? Let's go. I can always go to confession. But, matter of fact, the job actually caused one of the biggest fights that me and my ex-wife ever had in our very short marital time together. What happened was, the job required to drive around, service restaurants, and you'd stay out time to time. Oh, he screwed somebody out in a motel, didn't he? Not the case, not the case. There's not much to pick from out in western corn-fed Kansas, let me tell you. What happened was, there was this place down by the college, and it was called Stamey's. And the reason why it was called Stamey's is it was owned by 2 cousins. The one was named Stacy, and the other name was Amy. So, of course, they put the two together and came up with Stamey's. And the funny thing is, very young, attractive women can get away with stupid shit like that. If it was 2 older dudes going, my name's Earl. My name's Daryl. Come on down to Daryl's Auto Repair. It just don't work like that. And even though my ex-wife didn't actually know Stacy and Amy, the whole Tri-County area was well aware that the 2 girls that ran the place, they ran it very well by having very long, very tan legs and tiny white shorts is what kept all the boys in. And let me tell you, every time I went to service that place, I did nothing but catch hell. What I would do is I'd get up on Monday, drive out to Leota, stay the night in Leota. Does everybody know where Leota is?
Yeah.
All right, for those of you who don't, it's down southwest Kansas where there are literally more heads of cattle than people in the entire county. Yeah, that's the fact. So I would drive out to Leota, go up over the Tribune, up to Sharon Springs, and then I would have to drive from Sharon Springs all the way back to Hayes. And if you know where Sharon Springs is, you would know before I actually made that drive, the first thing I did was contemplate suicide. It's a drive. So either way, I would come back, I'd go into Hayes, I'd go down and service Stamey's, and I'd come home and my wife would be like, did you go service Stamey's? Well, yeah. Was Stacy there? No, but Derek was. Me and him sat around and bullshitted, and then I came back. Derek, huh? Yeah, Derek. So another month would go by, and I'd talk myself out of suicide, drive back to Hayes, go into Stamey's, come back home, and first thing out the door, she'd go, did you go to Stamey's? Yes, I went to Stamey's as part of my job here. Well, was Amy there? No, but Corey was. Corey, huh? Yes, me and Corey sat and bullshitted and then he came home. Okay. So then, once again, a month went by, and I walked through the front door, and wife goes, did you go down to Stamey's? I go, yes, I did. Was Amy there? Which she wasn't, but I just said, no, she wasn't, but Stacy was. Oh! So Stacy was there, huh? What'd she have to say? I go, well, she really didn't say much. The only thing is, she thought her nipples were 2 different sizes, although they measured differently, but they kind of tasted the same. And needless to say, the biggest fight in my short-lived marriage ensued after that. Why do you have to say things like that? Because it's my job and I'm tired of your shit. Needless to say, there was no makeup sex for months after that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
One more time for Sheldon Schween, everybody.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what did you think? I think I actually did a very good job, and it might not seem like it, but what I'm proud of is rather than rehearse material and rehearse, and then go up and perform, I winged it. I completely winged it. I said, just, you know what, go up there and speak off your experiences and just go off the top of your head. And that's exactly what I did, which is why there was flubbed words and misspoken sentences and just flat out missed stuff, because I actually chose to do it that way, because when you've got the ding-dongs, there's no concentrating. There's no getting alone time to concentrate and perform, practice. Yeah, it just doesn't happen, so I decided to wing it. And in doing so, I was very happy that I naturally just hit like the 15-minute mark with, you know, some very ease. And I was just up there, and one thing that didn't help was the crowd was pretty tough, and it was pretty tough on the fact that there wasn't a lot of people there that night. And it just one of those things that it just so happened there was 3 weddings that night. So yeah, and I invited 500 friends on Facebook. One of them showed up. Thank you. You know who you are. Anywho, what else was I gonna say? Step 1 is I'm going to go get my hair trimmed, because upon watching the video I realized I look like a severe Mitch Hedberg ripoff with my long hair, and there's just one of those weird things that when the hair comes around the side of your head, you just kind of look down and talk like that, and you just kind of da 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 da. So yeah, I'm not going to whack it, but I'm definitely going to trim it back, so that way I can create my own look. And yeah, the big thing is, what happened?
It's awful.
So, Super Mario Maker, it's wonderful. So anyways, the one thing that I realized, and the reason why I put this up is so that way when I'm doing my HBO special, my Netflix special, and sell out Madison Square Gardens, that way you can all look back and say like, man, I watched that bit when it was raw and it really wasn't that funny. Because the one thing I've realized about not just performing, but also talking to other comedians is a comedian's greatest set, when you watch it, it only comes after tens, if not hundreds of performances to finally get it polished. And so, you know, that was the Arby's. I'd done that before, and it was a little different, and I just decided to go with that and change it up a little bit, and I should polish that up some more. And then Harlan, the alcoholic school bus driver, that was very true. Very, very true. And then there's also Stamey's. There's a lot more stuff at Stamey's, and it's not just going down there and getting drunk, like, oh, go to Stamey's. No. I've got just 100 stories about going in there and servicing the place. There's much more to come. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the what I would call redemption in the raw, because last time I went up and performed, yeah, and that's exactly what happened, wasn't it? I mean, well, you weren't there, and you weren't there either, and I'm glad they weren't, and I hope they never see what I said that night, because I was in a bar, and I figured, let it go. Just Sheldon said very bad things. So, either way, ladies and gentlemen,